All right, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Wired Sound Podcast. So today we have another South Florida native, a legend, absolutely been killing it, been seeing his remixes all over TikTok. We have Leondis.
Oh man, what's up?
How are you, brother?
Good to have. Appreciate you having me, bro.
So, awesome name, right? Leondis, Landis.
Dude, I mean, I got so many stories of our name mix-ups.
Yeah, you got to fire one off because I've got something. This is like
okay, so you know on Apple Music when you do a remix, an official remix, it's not sometimes primarily tagged to your account. So like my first ever remix I did back in 2020 for two friends. It was a Leondis remix, and I kept looking it up, and it wouldn't come up on my account. And every time my friends
claimed it. It's like got them royalties coming in.
Every time I look up Leondis remix, Landis remix, Landis remix.
That's funny.
This guy's been doing this, so.
Yeah, it's been going for a minute, but I think we have a similar backstory, which is awesome too, right?
Yeah.
You're South Florida, Boca Raton.
South Florida. I was born in New York, and I lived there for the first 8 years of my life, and then moved down here full time now, and I'm here.
Like pretty much a South Florida native.
Pretty much. I got a couple members in New York, but mostly South Florida.
Yeah. So I had a funny one too, because while we're on it, Aoki this past weekend.
Yeah.
Right. I was. I think you played the day after with him. I played at Dare for like a corporate event. And at the end of his set, I was like, yo, I did a release on Dimmock like a while back. And he's like, oh, Leondis, right? And I was like, no, it's Landis. Felt bad correcting Aoki. It was awesome though.
When I met him the day after, I was like, yo, nice to meet you, man. Like, I'm Leondis. And he was like, oh, he was so hyped. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had the wrong one yesterday.
Hey, bro. Same thing. We could be the same person.
So tell people a little bit about what you've been doing. You've obviously been crushing it with the remixes and some originals.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's South Florida made. I've been doing music production for about 8 years now. Started off with rap beats, because that was the music I was into in high school, and then that kind of slowly got over to dance music, and I've been making dance music for about 5.5 years now under Leondis, which is just my last name, and the last about year or so it's been going real well with remixes with TikTok and throwing in originals every now and then, so it's been good.
Yeah, so I see like, what was the big, you had one that was Coaster.
Yeah.
Right?
We do a bunch together.
What was the one that really like took over that was like everywhere? It was the Sabrina Carpenter?
Sabrina Carpenter one. That was the first one we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Popped off.
It was great. I mean, I've been working with Coaster for probably like 4 years now. And
okay.
We've have an original together, and then he's like my best friend in the music industry. So he texted me. He's a big pop guy. He loves pop music. So he texted me. He's like, yo, Sabrina Carpenter's album's like just coming out. This is the single. I'm telling you, this is gonna be the one. I was like, full trust. I've been working with him for so long that if he said something like that, I'm like, all right, I trust you. So we made that, posted on TikTok, and then within like literally 12 hours, it just started popping off. And
that's a wild feeling, right? To have that kind of virality happen with your music.
Yeah, I mean, the best feeling was that, you know, when you, as a producer, you make a song and you're still hyped up on it. Because after like 2-3 weeks of working on the same song,
I hate this song.
Yeah, you're over it. You're like, dude, this sucks. That was only like 2 days into the beginning production of it to posting it. So being able to be hyped up on the song with everyone else.
Yeah, you synced up with people. That's like a first ever. We could sync up with people and be like, I like the song.
Yes.
You guys like the song.
It's a great feeling.
Let's just fuck it.
And then after a week, you're like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, I never want to hear it again.
Yeah, but that was the first one, yeah.
Any love from Sabrina's team or anything like that?
Yeah, so Sabrina, if you're watching this, answer your email. No, her team hit us up like literally 2 days after we posted and was like, yo, like we love this remix, like we'd love to get it out. Like, would you guys want to do that? And of course we were like, fuck yes, of course. And then just with major labels and, you know, they were doing their whole release rollout for the whole album.
Yeah.
I
fell by the wayside.
Yeah, just like no bad blood between either teams, but they kind of just either forgot about it or were just not too into it with their own rollout. So, but they hit us up and they liked it. So
the remix made an amazing impact, anyways. On without that push.
Appreciate
Sometimes I think it's tough because I think that's what's flipped a lot with like TikTok now is like. Because this used to happen on the back end all the time. Because I've been doing it like you said for a long time.
Yeah.
So you get something, the artist would like it. Like you do a remix, you'd send it to them, and they'd be like, "We could do this official," and it just fades away. At least now with like TikTok, you just like post it up, and it's out there in the world. Yeah. So even if they decide not to release it, at least like people still have it.
Exactly. I probably gained more fans from that remix and the remixes to follow, and all these songs were only released on SoundCloud than I have through like 4 years of Spotify releases.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
so
crazy.
people find your Spotify too. It's a good,
Yeah.
like it's a really great entry when you do these remixes of popular tracks because people, it's like a discovery point where people are like,
Exactly.
oh, this, you know, I love Sabrina Carpenter. Let me check out this remix of it.
Exactly.
Now I like Leondis and move on to the originals, and it's
That's
how you
what I
build
tell
fans. And
Totally, exactly, and that's what I was gonna say. I tell a lot of people that don't use these remixes as like, okay, this is gonna make my career and I'm gonna be huge from it. Like, of course, there's some people that are like that, but use it just as, okay, how can I bring value to someone who already likes an artist or a sound in a new way, and then you can garner some fans off of that and release it and just move on to the next. Then it's a win-win.
yeah,
for everyone.
it's a great strategy though. I always teach that because we have a production class here. And the ones that I taught, I was always like, yeah, start with free remixes. Because also for DJs, right? Like, if I'm a DJ, which I'm a DJ, but if I'm opening my inbox
Yeah.
and it's, you know, this original by this artist, this original by this artist, and then I see Sabrina Carpenter remix, I'm like, oh, wait, that's a popular track right now. Let me open up that remix,
Yeah.
see what the vibe is like, and maybe it can fit
Exactly.
into my sets. It's like a lot more attainable for DJs, I think.
Yeah, and it's just hard to get live support if it's not some like. Think about how
remix.
you make your sets when you're prepping sets or just on the fly. Like, you're not playing songs that people don't know the vocals from. So it's hard to. I mean, sometimes you are depending on the show, but for
Yeah.
the most part, you want everyone to be singing it. So
Yeah, do you
think about
make
that.
flips of your original tracks with like vocals from popular tracks and then send those to DJs? Because I was thinking about doing that.
should.
Right? It's a good idea.
Sometimes I've thought about it, and I've I know like Chainsmokers do that all the time.
Yeah.
And two friends, but I just haven't gotten into it. But
Yeah, I'm like
it'd be
thinking
great.
like because then at least you're like still getting your originals out there.
Yeah.
But you know, for DJs, then it's like, oh, this
gotta do
person
that.
played my original, you know, even though it was like a remix. Anyways,
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I'm
I think Disco Lines did that with. He had a song "Restless Bones,"
Okay.
and he put Cinema over it, vocal on it, and like that's what blew up the original.
and then sent it out to DJs. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably a good strategy to try.
Trademark that.
I know.
That's good.
I know.
That's good.
I'm always thinking of stuff like that. But
Love
so
it.
yeah, so you've been touring a bit. You had the Aoki show at Live this past.
Yeah.
Is that your first time at Live?
No, I played about a year ago with two friends,
Okay.
and then, but yeah, besides that was my first time.
So it's second time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How was it? It was like, was it bottle servicey or was the GA?
It was good. So when I played with two friends last year, it was very like spring break vibes, a lot of the younger crowd, and this was a little more of a matured crowd. So as a DJ, I had to kind of work around that a bit, but for the most part, it wasn't like, it was bottle service and high end just because it is Live, but it wasn't too tough. Just as a DJ, I didn't really prep a full set. I just had a bunch of songs and just felt the vibe.
Yeah, I went
and
with it.
it wasn't too hard to kind of, besides my USB corrupting 10 minutes into the set,
That's the worst.
all the vibes are great.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What did the music cut at all, or
It
so your
cut-
USB just crapped
dude.
out and just?
So this is what they don't teach you in DJ class. So I had two USBs on me. Only one was plugged in, and then I don't know why, but every time I hit the hot cue, it would play 4 bars and just cut. And then I'm like, so I got 30 seconds left on this extended mix.
That's so
And
stressful.
I go over to deck 4, same thing. Deck 1, because I'm playing on deck 2, same thing. And it cut for a second, and the guy had to come up. I was like, we could
it's not
insert a
me.
video. I was like, I don't know what this is. And he's like going around. He's freaking out because he's got Aoki coming on in
Yeah.
like 30 minutes. He's like, you got another USB? I'm like, yeah. Plug that in. Ended up going. So luckily, shout out to the Live team. It was like 30 seconds and on with it. And
in your head, it feels like 2 hours.
Oh my God, it was
I've had it happen
hell.
I had it happen at Dare before.
yeah,
And it was a nightmare.
it's the worst.
And it's like usually, it's just I don't know. You can't control the technology sometimes.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about on the way home. Like, there's nothing I could have done besides just handle it the way I did. So
Yeah, and
that's
just
how it is.
like not let it affect your set. Be like, okay, that happened. Let's fucking forget about it.
Exactly.
And
Hop
still
on the mic
go out
right
the
after
vibe.
and just
Yeah,
keep going
make
with
a
it.
joke with it or something.
So
Yeah, so I saw they just made, what was it, SanDisk? They made like DJ USB sticks. I saw someone
Really?
post about it,
I
like just
need
for
some.
DJing.
I need to get like
Yeah,
5.
I gotta look it up and see if it's a real thing. It could have been like AI generated.
Do you use an SD card?
No. So yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
heard a lot of good things. For like one of my old managers, Guillermo, he tour manages for ISO
Yeah, I know
Knock.
Guillermo.
Yeah,
he
he's
used
the
to do
man.
artist relations at Dare.
Yeah,
For a
oh,
bit,
yeah.
in his early days.
I forget we have like 100 mutual
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
But But he's like a big SD card stan. He's like, dude, he told me like a year ago, he's like, dude, get on it. And
Is that what they're on with Noctu? And
I would assume just because does it all, and
yeah,
I know he's got all their sets and stuff, so I think. But he loves SD card.
Yeah. Does he do like the opening for the set? Does he run? I've always wondered like the tour managers that run up and press the play button.
Yeah, dude. So for the Isonox stuff, he's like, he just got added on to their team like, I think a year ago now.
Okay.
So he was like, if you look at their EDC set, he's there with the flashlight walking them up on stage.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But I don't know, someone else. I think their guy does it, but
yeah, they've had a crazy like climb.
It's awesome. It's refreshing to see.
Massive, yeah.
Because
is it bass house? Would you say that's bass house? Right?
Yeah, bass house, trap, and kind of now D&B, everything in between. But they've had a really like refreshing rise as artists. They kind of did it the right way, which is cool.
Do you think it's important to like stick? Because I would say like Noctu like has a specific sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you just said, like they're starting to cross genres, but it's still with like his Noctu sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Would you say it's important to have like a specific, like a synth or like some kind of artist identity with your music, or like what are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a couple ways to go about it. You can do that through production. A lot of people now with TikTok are doing it through their branding and who they are and the content they make. I've always been music first guy, production first. I learned how to DJ after I knew how to produce. So I think it's important for sure, and it's important to have a set sound that people can at least latch on to you by, and like you can build fans so it's not like 8 different genres coming at you. But I think it's more important to have a feel. So like if you listen to Noctu stuff, I'd say all of his songs have this feel that's hard to explain, but they all feel
super
cohesive.
high energy. And
and it's cohesive in a way.
Makes sense for his brand.
Exactly. And also, I'd say starting out, if you're just starting out, I'd say don't limit yourself to anything. Try everything, see what works, see what you enjoy. But with someone like that, he's been in the game for probably like 10 to 12 years now. So
has he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been.
I heard because I knew Henry Fong.
Okay, sweet.
And I think like his first, like Noctu's first big record was with Henry Fong.
Yeah, What's the Move?
Right. Yeah, it was What's the Move.
Great song. I still play it. I love it.
Fucking banger.
Great song.
Yeah. So you don't really know, because sometimes like people are in the industry for such a long time, and then they just have this moment of they just explode onto the scene, and people are like, oh, they're a new artist, or they're
Yeah, and people get hate sometimes too. They'll be like, oh, he's an industry plant. He just came up out of nowhere. It's like, nah, these guys, Mal P, like all these guys have been doing
Maurice
this
West,
shit. Exactly.
in the game.
They've been doing it, but yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on like starting side projects, or because I have mixed feelings about it as well. I see some artists doing it and being like, jumping ship on their artist brand.
I think there's like a time for it.
Yeah.
So like Side Piece, perfect example. They did it at a great time when Party Favor and Nitty are both at I don't know, I don't want to say peak, but they've done everything.
Yeah.
Their own artist projects, and just combining forces, 2 times the strength. I think if you're starting a second project or side project because the first isn't working, it's great. But like for me, example, like I would love to do a side project with Coaster, my boy. Like we make music all the time, but I think we're both at a pivotal point in our careers where it's like, okay, you can either
lean deeper into
go all in on the single artist projects, or go half and half. And I've always been an all in guy. So
yeah, I kind of agree with that, because I think like what you said, unless you kind of hit that peak where you're like top of the game, you can't really take it any further. I don't think it makes sense, and it's like a new artist name is not necessarily going to make you bigger, because I think that's where, again, I'm always just having these internal conversations in my head, and the podcast is the way I kind of get them out there. So I'm always curious what other people's takes are.
Yeah.
Because I thought about doing a side project and like changing it up, and I'm like, I've spent years building my name in this project and like, putting everything into it. And so if it's not connecting, maybe it's like the music or the vibe I'm putting out, and I should shift that instead of like starting from zero.
Well, it's a scary thought, dude. It's like one of my biggest irrational fears is like, I work so hard at music and my project, and nothing comes from it. So like that's something I always think about.
Do you ever think about the current, like what I do because I have those kind of thoughts as well. Yeah. I'm like, all right, but you did this, and this. So even if this is the furthest you make it, at least
that's the way I'm trying to think now.
Or, whatever accomplishment. You got to always like take notes along the ride.
Yeah, and just being present is super important. I feel like as artists, everyone's trying to think about the next thing. Whether you're big or small, you say, oh, I'll be happy if I accomplish this, this, and this. And it's like, look back what you've done and look what you're doing as a job. You got to be grateful that you can, play music and make music for a living.
Yeah, and continue to do it.
Exactly.
Like, it is a grind. Like, it's definitely one of the hardest careers there is.
Yeah, it is. I would say top 5 hardest careers.
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that DJing is like easy.
Totally.
But aside from that, like, yeah, what you said, branding, making music, keeping consistent, like, you have to keep doing all of this stuff constantly, and it just doesn't shut off.
You're a business, and I'd say majority of the people starting out don't have, employees for them. Luckily, I have managers, and I got managers pretty early on, and they've helped me grow a lot. But there's people that are running the ship all by themselves, and like, that's fucking tough.
Yeah.
It is hard.
It's a lot to manage, and like you said, it is a business. And I guess advice for like people like just starting off is like, give it at least 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
like,
I'd say 4.
You got it. Yeah. Like, people give up too quickly with it. They're like, oh, I'm going to be a DJ. And then in 2 months, if they're not playing Space or Live, they're like, I'm out on this.
Dude,
and that's where people fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone, I forget who said it, but some of the best advice I received, or maybe just heard on another podcast or something, was that the only people that don't make it are the ones that quit. And that stuck with me, because it's like, if you look at, and not to compare to other DJs and stuff, but if you look at other artist projects, like, no one made it in 2 years, 3 years. Maybe it looks like that because of a changed artist project or something, but, even the people that have made it quickly, you'd say, like, they've been producing behind the scenes for a long, long time, DJing for a long, long time.
At least I don't want to throw shade at anyone.
No,
but we're
going to keep it clean.
There are some things like that.
Off the record,
anyways,
no shade.
Yeah, because people talk on, like, I'm always, I don't know, my TikTok algorithm is like hater DJs. A lot of, people like analyzing influencer DJs and stuff.
Dude, I saw a new one recently. We probably saw the same video. It's some random dude, and he's just talking about.
Was it Summer Ray?
Oh, well, I don't know. But anyways. I saw the comment section, and there's someone dropped like 30 names. I was like, oh, sheesh.
Yeah, so I saw someone hating on a specific DJ. And I think it's, at the end of the day, like, my perspective on that is, if you're bringing people through the door, that's what festivals and clubs care about. So however that happens, like, if you don't like that, then don't show up to it. But if there's people that want to come see you, I mean, that's kind of like anything, in general. It's
part of just being able to perform, like, in any job, I'd say.
You have to get attention, or like, maybe that's part of being a DJ. But.
I know a lot of people, no names, that can sell tickets out the ass that I don't think are the greatest producers in the world. But again, that's how it is.
That is a talent in itself, being a performer. Dude, or being able to capture attention online, like that.
Dude, it's
where
grind.
We're at now. So like, you just gotta accept it or don't do it. Or like,
That's it. That's literally it. So I respect for all the TikTok DJs out there that are fucking balling their ass out. Like, dude, respect. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Even there's people that try and replicate it. That's the other thing. You can't replicate someone else's success. It's like, if this person blew up this way on TikTok, it's not going to work necessarily for you.
I saw you did a podcast with Obi, Damaged Goods.
Yeah.
And I heard him talking about just like, because he's for Confessions, A&R, right?
Yeah,
or is he label head?
I
don't know.
I think he's the label head now, but yeah.
One of the two. But he was talking about how, like, he gets demos and they just sound like someone else. They sound like Dom Dollar.
It's like a Mala ripoff.
Exactly. And it's the same. You got to take that as the same way as content and also as an artist for all the younger producers out there. Like, there's someone that's already being John Summit and Knock 2 and Mal P the best, and that's them. So it's like, why try to replicate them?
Yeah, or fake it, or like, in that way. Be like, I want to be more, And
it's annoying that, like, everyone's like, well, be yourself. Like, that's the key. Just be you.
And honestly, it's hard to be that honest online, I guess, too.
Totally.
And put yourself out there that way because you're scared of being judged.
Yeah, of course.
But, like, I saw your videos that were blowing up were just you selfie in your room, like, vibing out.
Crazy.
They took off. Like,
I know. So that's what I'm like. I always say I'm music first. So I won't post a song if I don't know that it's really good, and I don't ask my trusted sources, all right, is this good? Is this good? Because the last thing you want is a low quality video with a bad song. Yeah. So I kind of bounce them out. My videos are just low effort.
Yeah, I just got shit on the internet the other day.
No way.
I put up like, and it wasn't even like I didn't spend that much time on it, so maybe that's why. But it was like 15 comments that were just like, this sucks. And I was like, ooh.
I've been there.
But you know,
I've been there.
For me, it was like, it was a flip of the We Are Young.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
By Fun.
Yeah. So, and I just pretty much did an edit like we were talking about before with my own track.
Okay.
Put it on top of it, and people were just like, yeah.
People,
Like,
internet
this ain't
people
it.
suck,
Yeah.
bro.
I was like, damn, getting shit on.
Never
But
take it to the
the
heart.
weird thing about that is I played it out. I played in Tampa after the Aoki show this past weekend.
Yeah.
And it was by far the best song of the set. You know, like the
Juxtaposition,
reaction,
bro.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
And I'm like, maybe, yeah, in fairness to the people hating me online, fuck those people.
Fuck you
But
guys.
yeah, no, it was like I just overdubbed it over a different video, and I didn't time it up correctly. Probably did it like
Gotcha.
mid-drive. Back
That's
from
just
Tampa.
the,
And so they're like, he's
doing it
twisting
quick.
knobs and nothing's even happening. But
Some people post shit online like messing up or on purpose like that,
Yeah.
just to drive
just
engagement.
what's
I
it
couldn't.
called? Yeah, rage baiting.
Rage baiting.
Yeah, it's
I
it's a
couldn't,
real
bro.
thing. Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
I wasn't doing that, but it worked. I mean, I did get
We
like
can
a
call
bunch
it
of
rage
comments,
bait.
but
We'll
it was
say
just
it.
all people just shitting on me.
Dude, getting hate's a weird thing.
Yeah, but that was the weird part about it was I just was like, wow, this record fucking works. And then people were like, fuck you on the internet.
It's hard
So-
not to take that to the heart.
Yeah, I don't care.
Good.
Fuck
him.
I think when you're in it for so long, you just realize everything is just like it just keeps moving,
Yeah.
and no one really cares that much. If
How long
someone-
have you been doing this?
Let's see, I started DJing when I was like 13, so
Okay, wow.
it's like 20 years. Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
What's your advice to a 22-year-old like me?
Yes, I mean, just what we were talking about. Stick with it. I think I've had so many ups and downs in my career. You need to find something in your life that's like consistent, whether, you know, like obviously monetary, like it's tough. It's a tough game, like making a living from being a DJ.
Totally.
But luckily I kept control of like my publishing and masters and stuff like that has been really helpful. Like if I had a down period where I wasn't getting booked a lot, at least I had some publishing money coming in or royalties to help like maintain stuff.
There we go.
You know, but obviously the goal is to get, and I think you're getting there to that next level.
Thank you. I'm trying. We'll see.
But it's a grind, and I think it's just staying consistent, not getting discouraged.
Yeah.
Just knowing that you'll have these major highs and these major lows,
Yeah.
and that's just, you know.
kind of just sticking through the lows and
Yeah.
appreciating the highs.
I mean, there's major artists that like 10 years ago were like headlining Ultra, then now are like,
Yeah.
like,
I've seen it. I've
Is
seen it
it, like-
firsthand, dude.
and sometimes they just take a hiatus or something, or I know like who's one like Chucky. I don't know. Do you remember Chucky? Yeah, exactly. But
Dude,
he was like
I gotta touch up on my EDM history.
10, 15 years ago. He was probably
Okay.
one of the biggest DJs
Yeah.
at Ultra. All that. I mean, he's a sick DJ, but he just took a hiatus for a while, and I think that like I haven't seen him playing anything. So I'm not just throwing shit at Chucky. I had
Shout
a
out
collab
Chucky.
with him a while ago.
Oh hell yeah.
But yeah. So I think it's just knowing that there's gonna be highs and lows. Like obviously, if you're John Summit, like you're set for life.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but
Do you believe that artists have like one big peak and then it's kind of downhill from there? Or what's your take on that?
yeah, it depends on the artist. I think the goal, right, is you have that peak
Yeah.
and then you capture it the right way. So you
Okay.
either follow it up the right way. You know, I don't really care about naming names because I don't. But like for example, like A-Craze.
Okay.
I think he's done a really good job at maintaining
Yeah.
the hype because
Yeah.
that Do It To It that could have easily been a one-hit wonder kind of
Yeah.
vibe where you just and I still see a bunch of people showing up for him.
Yeah, of
so
course.
cultivating a community, stuff like that. And
I like that.
you know, he did like the Don Toliver.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he had, even though it doesn't like, it's not like he didn't try and replicate Do It To It. So it's
Yeah.
maybe he did, but I don't know. But
No.
you know what I mean? Like you gotta like capture that moment and then just build on it the right way.
Yeah. Do you think do you think that comes from experience and like being, because he was doing it for a while before Do It To It. Do you
Yeah.
think it comes from experience or just being ready with that sound that did well, or mixture both, or what?
Well, it definitely is easier nowadays. Maybe not nowadays. I think as a DJ versus like a pop artist.
Yeah.
Right, because with a DJ, I mean, you can really just have one hit.
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
tour for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I know people do that.
So it is possible, but I guess what was the question? Like to build off of that, or to like get
Yeah.
to the next level? From
Yeah,
that?
just like, would you say that he was able to stay at the top for after Do It To It because of his experience, or do you think just being ready for it Because I think about that a lot. Like whenever I have a big moment, I want to be able to.
Probably got the right team around him
Yeah.
too, and people to keep you grounded.
Gotcha.
Because it's probably easy to like. I haven't had that level of success,
Yeah,
so it's
me
hard
neither.
to know what it's like.
Yeah.
But it's probably easy to let stuff get to your head,
Yeah,
and
of
your
course.
ego get too big, and then when your ego gets too big, you start to be a dick to the wrong person that maybe booked you at this club in, I don't know, Canada or something,
Yeah.
and then that word gets around that you're an asshole DJ, and then you don't get
Gotcha.
rebooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I met him for the first time I was at like a UCF football game.
yeah.
'Cause he's from Orlando, and
yeah,
I met him from one of the club owners there, and he didn't know that I made music. Just normal
was
guy,
super-
just nicest dude in the world.
Yeah,
so.
see, like, so whether it's not getting it too quickly, or just having the right people around you, I think it's the main goal is to stay humble. Because I have heard of artists where they got it one hit and then they were an asshole to like opener DJ shit like that,
Hate it.
and then people like no one wants to work with you after that.
Yeah.
It's like kind of the same, and I've heard that. I don't really know, but like I'm saying in like the movie industry, I've heard that as well.
Yeah,
Like
of
if
course,
you get
Hollywood.
big and then you get canceled because you're an asshole to everyone.
Yeah.
So
All right.
it's just the same.
Moral of the
kind of-
story is
don't be a dick.
Be a good fucking person.
Yeah,
Not
but
that hard.
it's probably hard to stay grounded when you're fucking getting flown first class to Dubai and
Highs.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's you don't have a lot of lows.
yeah. So that would be my advice, I guess. Is just
Solid.
try and stay grounded with it.
Hell
you
yeah.
know? All right, so you're working on a lot of originals or mainly remixes still. Where you heading with it?
So I'm still going with the remixes, whether it's a big song that randomly comes out or if an artist hits me up to work. But I'm kind of going all in with the originals just because
Okay.
I don't want to say I've reached my peak with remixes, but I'm fucking close.
Yeah.
Like I've had a couple big releases officially with artists, and I've had some TikTok stuff blow up,
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of user-generated content from that, and it's all been remixes. And I've had a couple bigger originals, but nothing that's really stuck. And I just think that's the missing piece right now for me
to
as an
have
artist.
that one original that.
Yeah, and I don't even want to say one original because I know just the way the industry moves. Like it could be 2, 3, depending on the sound and stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just, I feel like the ceiling is way higher for originals, and I think I'm ready for that to come.
Yeah, I do think that is what takes artists to that next level is that original like John Summit had like Deep End, right?
Exactly.
You know, and everyone is playing that record, just everyone knows that original record. Because then it's you, but you have the sound and everything, so I think it's a matter of time. You
Appreciate
know?
it. It's the nicest compliment as a producer I could receive.
Yeah,
so
but
thank
it's
you.
true. You have a distinct sound that you're pushing out and that people attach to.
Thank you.
But yeah, I guess collabing I think is always a great method as well.
It's awesome.
Maybe collabing with someone in the pop world or something like that could be a good move for you.
They're all so rich. It's hard.
Yeah.
Their top lines are so expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Would be awesome.
Yeah, if I can go
See-
to a bank. I wonder if anyone goes to a bank, takes out a loan for like
Maybe.
top line from.
I would do it for the right artist.
Yeah.
Now it's like, but you see, so obviously we're just talking about A-Craze. I'm trying to think of, someone just did it. Lazewo, they did a remix of an A$AP Rocky song.
Okay.
Same way A-Craze did with Don Tolliver song. Released it on TikTok, and A$AP Rocky's team actually hit them up to put it out as an original.
Yeah.
And it was A-Lock. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
A-Lock, Lazewo, and A$AP Rocky all in a song.
That's fucking sick.
And it's technically an original. So
Yeah, that might
doing
be
something like that.
I mean, that is what a lot of artists are blowing up for nowadays. Even though it's branded as an original, it's really a remix.
yeah,
So I guess it's just like flipping that script with people. It'll be like, oh, this is that. Like
that's the thing.
even like was it Clooney? Clooney has
Yeah.
like all of his tracks are
Yeah,
remixes.
Stephanie.
Are
Yeah,
they
any
re-
samples and
or I'm sorry, they're not. Yeah, I guess they're not remixes. They're just
but
samples from.
technically it's
yeah,
a
but
remix.
technically it's
that's
a
the
remix.
thing. The listener doesn't care. They just want
Yeah.
good music, and they want it on Apple Music or Spotify.
Yeah, but then Pasta too.
yeah.
Like those are like.
Didn't you do like a Nate Dogg?
Yeah,
vocal, I think?
yeah, the
Too cool.
yeah, too cool to be careless, and then I forgot the other record. But
Pick up the phone.
technically, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, those would be branded as remixes.
Exactly.
So,
I like the idea of flipping that to where it's like, it's still like I was talking about earlier. It's value that someone can get if they like A$AP Rocky, they like Don Tolliver.
Yeah,
they're gonna get
they're
a
gonna
new
fuck with
flip
that
to it,
track.
and you don't have to call it a remix.
Yeah, so that might be a key for you, honestly, is
Yeah.
finding a track from your past or something that
Yeah.
you could flip into
That would
an
be
original.
awesome.
The clearance, yeah, people don't
Suck.
know in the industry. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do like the AI vocal shit.
I've done that.
Yeah,
before.
is it to put out as an original?
Yeah, I haven't released it, but I did like I AI'd the vocal from "Let It All Work Out" by
Okay.
Wayne. It was good, but it's just like 4
Not
words
there.
looped. So,
I had it with it wasn't an AI, but it was like I got permission for "Be My Lover,"
oh, nice.
the LaBouche
Yeah,
record.
great song.
I was like, fuck, I had it too, because like maybe 6 months later, the Hypaton version came out.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
that one
was
blew
it
up
before-
everywhere, and I was like, I knew it. I was like, I fucking knew it,
Oh.
and it was on Insomniac and stuff too. But
Bro.
mine just
and
never
didn't
took
get
off.
to remix it.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that all happened. That's like been
At
the
least
story of my
that-
career.
at
I'm
least-
usually early on stuff like that.
At least you know that you're early.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of fucking being the fastest to do it.
There was another one by I think it was Nava. I forgot. It was the believe in me. You know, like don't you think like that?
Oh yeah.
I will love you. And
Yeah.
I made that song like 2 years ago.
Really?
Before that. Just spiteful.
You can't post it on TikTok. Everyone's
Yeah,
be like,
I
no,
know.
you did it.
Yeah, create.
Bro,
But
that's
yeah,
awesome. That's you guys. I'm gonna pay you to give me the ideas.
Yeah, I know. I got them. They're back there.
Dude, let's
but
go.
maybe that is the key nowadays for a lot of artists is finding tracks from your childhood or something.
Yeah.
That you could flip because it has like familiarity kind of with people, but it's like not in front of mind.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the most important thing that I've realized is that you got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy what you're producing. You got to enjoy the song. Because I've tried to make songs that I think are going to blow up because, you know, say there's a certain sound or a vocal that's doing well. And if I don't really enjoy it, like I won't remix it. I won't do it because
Yeah.
it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. So that's true. The
Good way
production
to think of
process.
it. Yeah.
I have one with Retrovision.
Yeah.
And it's a flip of Teenage Dirtbag.
Oh, shit. I haven't heard of that.
Teenage Dirtbag. Have you heard?
Well, no,
Teenage
I've heard
Dirtbag?
Teenage Dirtbag, but not that version.
Yeah, no, we haven't sent it out. I probably
Oh, it's
should.
unreleased.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we've been trying to clear it for like 2 years almost. But we finally, I think we're there. Hopefully by the time this comes out, the record will be dropped.
That was sick.
But it's,
Hell yeah.
we're releasing it as an original. So,
Amazing.
With like them on board.
Really?
So yeah, it's been.
Dude,
but
that's awesome.
That's the thing though. Like,
Congrats.
stuff like that just takes so long to get
I
clearance,
know.
and there's people involved and labels, all that shit.
And it's tough if you don't have, because like if you don't have it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you don't have the hype on TikTok, you're not gonna be able
Yeah.
to get that sometimes. And if you do have the hype on TikTok and people are taking a long time to clear a sample or something, people
Hype
are just
dies down.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, we don't care anymore.
I saw you comment on a video the other day of it was that
Shit.
kid's record is
What
like
did I
this to
say?
make me feel electrified.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
Song.
everyone's just shitting on him, like saying it wasn't released quick enough. And I'm like, this guy got it out probably like a month after he
That's record
which is
time.
really quick.
And it's a
Yeah.
sample.
And it's a sick
Yeah.
record too.
Oh,
Oh, it
it's
is
awesome.
a sample. I didn't,
Yeah, so I hit him up. He was following me before, and I saw the video on my For You page, and I was like, yo, this is fire. And I looked at his other stuff.
Yeah.
Great, and great performer. I was watching the videos, and I hit him up. I'm like, dude, what's good with this? And he ended up telling me it was just like conflict of interest with the sample and
Yeah.
label and clearance and all that. But, I mean, clearly it worked
he
out
got it
because like
out.
2 weeks later, he announced it was coming out.
what's the artist's name? I forgot.
Him?
Yeah, him.
Sung? I
Sung.
think that's probably pronounced Seung.
Yeah, he was the one. I
Legit.
think he made that video. Was like this would be Dom Dalla's
Yeah.
opening set thing or something.
Dude,
Sometimes just
fire.
like those. Yeah.
And
those
it's
little
low
text
quality, but
captions.
the low quality just video, but great song, high quality song. So it's like,
Yeah, I
works.
have a content question for you. Are you shooting mainly selfie style, or are you flipping the camera? Like,
I'm going all selfie style just because I
Okay.
want to see what I look like,
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure I don't look like a dumbass. But maybe I'll do.
so you
flip
don't.
it.
But I mean, your videos have blown up with that style. So like,
Yeah.
because people say like the content quality has to be higher, you know, and that's
Nah.
bullshit. You think it's just
I-
about the song and the vibe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's bullshit because it if you have a high quality video and the song's great, hopefully it does well. You don't need a high quality video, and hopefully I'm a testament to that with all the content I've done and the
Yeah.
content in the past. And I mean, I've tried. Like, if you look back at my TikTok from 2-3 years ago, like I remember I was doing like an official remix for the Chainsmokers, and I had to blow it up essentially. And
To get it released.
yeah,
You're like, hey, it's dope, but like.
yeah, their
you know?
team was like.
Yeah.
Like I did like 4 or 5 weeks of TikToks trying to get it like just bigger
Damn,
and
that's
bigger.
wild.
Yeah,
It
but
worked though.
it worked. It was great, but like a lot of after the first couple ones, I tried to be like very high quality with it and like too corporate, and a lot of the videos didn't do too well.
perform well, yeah.
And all the ones that just me in my room, me in my car, just vibing, those are the ones that did well. So
Yeah, that's wild as well.
it's hit or miss. Like anyone, I'd say it's fair ball game for anyone. It doesn't need to be perfect, but
Yeah.
It
I've been
helps.
emailing with Alex from the Chainsmokers for probably like 15 years.
really,
And I don't think I've actually ever met him in person, but somehow he always like responds back.
I've
like
heard that he's like,
and I'm like, I'm like, is this an AI, Alex? Is this a real Chainsmoker?
I've heard he's like, he answers every single email no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
I had my hopes up a little. I sent them some stems to a record like maybe a month ago, but then they were like, we got too much going on. They asked for it, so in fairness, I was like, fuck, this is it.
Oh,
then, it sucks to get your hopes up like that with artists sometimes.
That's what I've realized, bro. I used to get my hopes up every time I get a comment or a follow, and it's like, just take it day by day. You never know. With industry, bro, it's like, that may not work out for you just because of one person at the label has a scheduling conflict and like all this bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to just like not let stuff get to your head.
Yeah.
What we were saying before with like during sets or just like experience, because I've had great and horrible sets, you know.
Of course, everyone has.
But I think the important thing as a great DJ is just like moving forward and just like not letting stuff fuck with your head at all.
That's like great life advice too.
Yeah,
in general.
True that. Yeah, don't let stuff get you down.
Yeah.
All right, so we're probably, I don't know. Let me see. We don't have Alexia here who usually helps with the podcast. So I don't know where we're at time-wise, but I think we're probably getting close to the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
Advice for aspiring producers, or because you've been pretty big posting about like advice for people as well.
Yeah, I try to just the reason I was able to get a lot of the things I've done accomplished in the music industry up until now is because of the people that helped me. So I try to make it a point to just give back however I can.
Love that.
Advice, so much, but I'd say stay true to yourself is the first thing. And I hate that I'm saying that because it's like the most cliche thing, but like I was saying before, there's someone out there that's being John Summit, the best John Summit they can be, and it's John Summit itself. So it's like,
not
stand out how you can, but make it true to yourself.
And just don't fucking copy anyone else, or don't try and be like...
I mean, look, people make it from copying people, but it's like not fulfilling. I've had songs do well that it's like, I'm not gonna say a rip off of someone, but it's a trend to make this style of music, and it's like, it's just not fulfilling versus if I make a, you know, like an aggressive, progressive house song that like is very true to my sound, and that does well, 10 times better feeling.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I'd say that, and then only other advice off the dome would be, I don't know, I'd say the most important thing is to try to enjoy what you're making, and I touched on that before, but if you're making something that you don't like, or
close that computer.
Content you don't like, try to enjoy the content you're doing. That's why I do like low quality, chill content because it's easy and I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not stressing you out.
Yeah, dude. Because you're not gonna be able to repeat that process, whether it's content or production, if you don't like it.
Yeah, I was doing like club commentary content for years.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fucking hated it.
Really?
Yeah, but now my videos don't do well. I think my algorithm is fucked up and it like expects me to do that.
Dude, and same with mine now. Like I haven't I didn't post for like 3 or 4 weeks. Like any of the videos like that. Ones. And my content's not doing well.
Not doing well. I don't know if that. So I'm trying to figure that out. I gotta do an audit.
It sucks.
Yeah, but like, I think I just made a video about this. But it just, again, it wasn't fulfilling for me at all as an artist.
Yeah.
And like I knew this stuff was gonna get views and shit like that, but it didn't really help me in my career whatsoever.
Yeah,
either. Right. Which obviously was the overall goal, was to become a more successful DJ from content. Exactly. So I stopped doing it.
Gotcha.
If anyone's still watching my club commentary,
I'm sure they pull up. I used to watch them all the time,
I started hiding them. I started putting them on private because I'm like, maybe that'll like fix the algorithm. Like, could be. Because I still get a bunch of likes on them. Like,
yeah, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember you had a couple huge ones.
Yeah, I had the Grandma Ravers at EDC.
I forget if I saw that one.
That one, Insomniac posted that one.
Oh,
and then they like made these Grandma Ravers into like stars. Like they get invited to like every EDC. And I'm like, I fucking made those.
Wait, maybe I've seen the Grandma Ravers.
Yeah. It was at
hell yeah.
Whose set was it at? Not Mala. It's one of the other guys from that team. But he's always wearing. It starts with an M too. I'm like tripping out. He's massive. Is it Matroda? Yeah, it was Matroda.
Oh wait. Okay. Yeah.
It was during his set.
Dude,
and I was just there backstage.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Dude, that's sick. I love it.
Yeah. But anyways, wasn't fulfilling for me as an artist, so that's kind of why I stopped.
Gotta make sure you enjoy it, because you can't repeat it if you don't.
Yeah.
You can, but it's not gonna be fun.
It's not gonna be enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right. So wrapping up, shows coming up, anything like that you want to tell people about?
I'm doing this Sunday with the Chainsmokers in San Francisco.
Sick.
And then the weekend after, Breakaway Music Festival in Ohio. Weekend after, Big Night Live with Galantis in Boston.
Awesome.
And then LA Coliseum with Audium the weekend after, and then I go to Greece for 4 weeks to do usually I'll do for like a month in the summer, like a summer camp.
Okay.
And I just like a counselor there, so going for Greek American
Love that
kids.
famous DJ counselor. That's sick.
Gotta do it. It's fun, and then I got like Cancun or something after that. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun
Pretty much
summer.
it. Yeah, I'm excited. Gotta make some money somehow.
LA
so it'll be
Coliseum's
fun.
gonna be dope as shit.
I know.
It's like legendary.
It's at Torch, like right outside of it, so
Okay.
not in the actual
I don't know
Coliseum,
if
but
have they allowed. Did they allow a show in the Coliseum? I think one.
I think Fred again did it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was
Still
fucking
counts.
crazy. Yeah.
It's still the Coliseum.
I was gonna say.
All right. Well, thank you, Leondis.
Dude,
Gotta
thanks for
be,
having me.
Yeah,
fucking
hang
man.
him again more.
Hell yeah, dude. We can do it.
Till next time.
Peace.